Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jessica and I want to talk to you today about the series that I'm bringing to you on the topic of emotion. Now, I've called this series Embracing Emotion because the intention behind it is facilitating a move toward our emotions, starting to bring them in a little bit closer to us rather than pushing them away, and start to see them as something that is actually friend, that is actually helpful, and that we're able to work with in a really healthy and fruitful way versus an enemy or something that we want to push away from us. And this is really something that's been inspired to me through the course of my own life, which originally began with complete denial of and suppression of my emotions because I simply had no tools for dealing with them and I had no understanding of how they were working for me. So in lieu of that capacity and capability, I pushed them all away. And this was something that worked really well for me for about 25 years of my life, until all of this emotional baggage that I had unknowingly gathered over the years began to build up to such a point that it was bubbling over. And for me, it became very, very heavy, where I had a sense every day of heaviness, of overwhelming sense of anxiety that was constantly looming for me. And it was also really affecting me in a physical way where my digestive system was way out of whack, my hormonal system was way out of whack, I was constantly getting ill with recurring illnesses, I had achy body, tired, exhausted, my thoughts were racing, so everything was really happening. And it was at that point that I started to work with practices like yoga, meditation, healthy eating, seeing a naturopath, even looking at positive thinking and so on. But it was really only when I got to the point where I realized that most of this had an emotional root, and I started to delve into that side of things, that I started to see the results that I really wanted to see. Now, up until then, I had felt that it was sort of just like fighting fire, but I was never really getting to the cause or the root of that fire. But when I started to go into that emotional side of it and really clear out some of that deep-seated emotional stuff that was creating all of this in my life, that I began to see the results I was after. And that was around feeling greater joy, feeling greater levels of energy, greater health and vitality. And I really started to have the capacity to direct my life in the way that I wanted to. Up until then, I really had just been bounced around by life without having any agency or any mastery over what was happening for me. So, this emotional stuff is really, really key. It's something that we all as humans experience. There's no denying that we feel emotion, although very often we do deny that within ourselves. And it's something that we don't necessarily talk about openly with other humans. And so it becomes this kind of taboo thing, and this thing that we don't really talk about, we don't really know about. So it's really, from what I can see, in fact, what I know to be true is by dealing with this emotional realm, by starting to get more intimate with it, to understand it and master it, that is what propels us through into our next level of mastery as humans. If we want to reach the higher aspects, to reach our higher potentials, we need to be able to navigate and clear through some of this lower stuff that keeps us stuck and keeps us bound in place. And, we've come a long way in terms of what we understand as humans, and most of us know that it's really essential to look after our bodies in a physical way, get enough sleep, drink enough water, do a little bit of exercise, eat foods that are nourishing and healthy for us. And this is something that the media really clearly portrays for us and explains to us. It's becoming more clear to us how important our state of mind is to our well-being. And there's practices like meditation, mindfulness that are becoming more popular, and people are starting to realize the impact and the effect that they have on their state of mind. And also things like positive thinking, like this is not really a new concept, making positive affirmations and speaking out loud what we want in our lives. So we're getting more familiar with this stuff, but the emotional piece is sort of like one of the missing links, and it's one of the places that we need to start to move into next as humans in order to evolve and develop from where we are now. So what I'm bringing to you over this next few videos in this series is information on what emotions are, how they work, looking at belief systems and the way that we tend to relate to our emotions. I'll be giving you tools of how you can deal with your emotions, how you can clear them, have new perspectives about how they can actually help you rather than hinder you and obstruct and be difficult in your life, but actually start to see how they're helpful. And so as we go through this process, we really start to find a lot of self-acceptance and a lot of self-mastery. And we really start to see how everything in our life is working together to create the reality that we're experiencing. So I really do hope that you will join me for this series. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's something that I'm really, really passionate and excited about bringing to you. So if you think that any friends or family also will be interested in learning about this information, then please do share this video with them so that they too can subscribe. So that as I do release the videos in the series, you're able to stay up to date and join me through the evolution of this sharing of information. Also, hop over to my website where you find out a little bit more about some of my offerings, including yoga, angelic Reiki healing, various events, and information on essential oils. Until I see you again, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you then.